Hello, my beautiful friends. I just felt prompted to make a video today, and as I've mentioned in some of my other ones, I don't know exactly what I'm going to be talking about, but the reason I was prompted to make a video this time is that I feel that people's concern for me, and I appreciate that. And so I just wanted to kind of tell you guys how I'm doing, and then leave myself open for any other messages that might want to come through. Yeah. It's not easy to talk about. This has by far been the most traumatic thing I've ever been through. And I'm going to try to keep my emotions in check so that I can get through this. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I find, as is natural, unless you've been through something like this, and for anybody who's watching this video for the first time, I'm thinking of people who might stumble across it on YouTube. For a high-level overview, it's really hard to talk about it without crying. So I'm going to let myself, but I'm going to try to keep it in control so it's not a whole lot of crying. I remembered repressed memories of being sexually abused when I was a child, which started when I was 8 years old. And I know these memories have been waiting to come out for a long time. So in one way, I'm thankful, because it's like I've been going on this really long healing journey, knowing there was, stuff inside that just needed to be found and expressed and released and healed. And I've kind of been single-mindedly pursuing that and making a lot of progress. But there was always this feeling that there was something more that I couldn't quite get to. And I finally got to it. I'm trying to back away from it, because when I really go into those emotions, those feelings, that fear, that violation, when I fully let myself cry, I cry in ways I've never cried before. But part of this process is just letting my body and my mind. I'm like shaking right now. It's 8-year-old Katie. When I talk about this stuff, she gets scared. So this is hard. This is gonna be really hard to post, but I feel it's important. I cover my mouth a lot because he violated me there, among other places. So when I start to talk about it, then my natural reaction is just to cover my mouth to protect it, This is hard. I know it's gonna be hard for people that love me to watch this too. And what you're seeing as far as my emotions is just the tip of the iceberg when I really tap in. But so yeah, it's, if you haven't been through it, you can't imagine how debilitating it is, and how it feels like you were ripped apart at your deepest levels. A lot of the sadness I feel is, it's like me grieving for my child self, because that should never have happened to her. I want to reassure everybody that I am getting through this. It's like everything that I've experienced in life has led me up to being strong enough to handle this. And so what I've been doing since the memories came back, and it has indeed truly been the most healing thing for me, is to just listen to my body, listen to my mind, listen to 8-year-old Katie, and just ask her what she wants, what's gonna help her the most. And nowadays Katie is gonna do that. And that includes things like quitting my job, because I was, bullied and bullied and kind of manipulated, abused there. And it's just been made very clear to me that I cannot, I not only cannot, but I will not allow myself to ever again be in any sort of environment where that is present. Not even for a little bit, My first priority, it's like 8-year-old Katie is my child, and I am showing her now that her mom is going to literally do freaking anything to protect her and make sure that she feels safe now. So I did feel like when I quit my job, I'm laughing because I understand it. I felt the collective energy of people like seeing that, or just like, what? Why would you quit your job? Like that was like crazy or stupid, and not wanting to give because of that. And I'm not judging you at all, but like I felt the energy of that, of just like, the only reason you're asking for somebody to support you is because you quit your job. Like, why would you quit your job? But I quit my job because it was making me feel unsafe, and I've been miserable there for a long time. So and kind of being taken advantage of, and all my energy has just been going to that job. Like, a lot of the bullying and just like put downs and the microaggressions and all that, I just kind of let it like roll off my back, because I'm just like, I'm not gonna let somebody determine how I'm feeling, even if they're treating me that way. It's like I'm gonna be happy and joyful anyways. But that takes so much energy, to constantly have to be like protecting myself from somebody who's just constantly negative, and in this mindset to bring me down at all costs. So, especially during this time and any time going forward in my life, I'm not doing that. And I can get another job when I feel better. Not right now. Like, in my emotional place, like, I just can't. Like, my emotions are everywhere, and that's just part of the journey. Like, I'll go from relatively okay to curled up in a ball, crying harder than I've ever cried in my life, and everything in between. And right now, the most important thing for me is to let those emotions out. I'm finally releasing those for 8-year-old Katie. She didn't get to express all of this, and she didn't have the capacity or the tools. But nowadays, me does. And so that's my main priority right now, is to just let her express. It's my way of being able to heal. So, so I stand behind, and I know that I'm being guided through all of this. And I know every decision I've made has been the right one. Like, I just know that. Even though I don't know exactly where I'm going after this, my whole, like, just over and over, my body and my mind is just like, right now, you focus on you. You focus on healing. In a lot of ways, that's all I can do. When I try to focus on other things, it's like my body is like, nope. Like, I'm not allowed to, you know? Yeah, all of my energy, all of my focus is on healing right now, as it should be. And one of the reasons that I put this out on Facebook, my whole story, was, again, another prompting, but also I feel that I'm giving a voice to the voiceless. Yeah. This is one of those crimes that I haven't fully explored why it is this way, but something with our society and the crime itself. If you're a woman especially experiencing this, you feel like you can't talk to anybody. Or if you do, they're not going to believe you or support you, or somehow they will turn it around and say it was your fault, like you brought it on yourself. Like, it is one very screwed up, messed up part of our society, where the victim gets blamed for it. And if my mind was more in tune with anything besides my healing, I would be saying some very strong words around that, of just how evil that is, how messed up that is. I've had so many women reach out to me as a result of my Facebook post, and either share their stories in the comments on the post, or by reaching out to me directly. And I think people, the general population, would be surprised how many women have gone through something like this, and just how damaging it is. And please know, if you reach out to me, I will, of course, keep your story confidential. And thank you so much for trusting me with that. Like, that's huge. I feel what's going on when people share their story with me. It's finally they're being heard, you know? finally they're telling someone who will listen and not shut them down. Like, I've heard people say that they reported to the police what happened, and the police literally said to their face, "Oh, I don't think that's really what happened to you." Like, fuck. That one deserves a big fat curse word. Like, to not only overcome the fear and the shame and whatever else that goes along with this type of crime, to go speak to somebody that you feel should be on your side and should follow up and make sure that the abuser pays for what they did, and that to have that person just be like, "Nah, you read that situation all wrong." Like, fuck that, fuck. I don't even care about cursing anymore. If you don't like it, don't watch my videos. But sorry, there's something. This was under my leg. So this one is called A Dream Crystal. Sorry, that was like a total like change in topic there, but I was feeling it. I'm like, what is that? And it is this beautiful dream crystal. Yeah. Let me bring it close so you can see it. It's kind of clear, but then has like these beautiful, it's hard for it to focus. Has these lines of like, I don't know, almost kind of spider webby. So pretty. Anyways, I think this is coming out as my little sign to talk about what else I wanted to talk about with you briefly. Or that's kind of coming out as part of, excuse me, as part of this healing journey, is also this need for me to be my full authentic self, to not hide any parts of myself, to try to keep from offending people, but just to fully, I just love it, to fully show and embrace who I am. And if people don't like that, that's fine. You know, like, they don't have to follow me. They don't have to listen to me. There's no requirement that you watch my videos or yeah, sorry. One of the effects of this trauma, I would say, with so much of my energy going towards my healing, is, you've probably noticed, like, the words don't flow as well as they usually do. It's like my focus isn't in my mind and my thoughts and my words so much. It's very much my body and my soul and my emotions. And so the words aren't quite as clicked in as they normally would be. But that's okay. It's where I am. I am where I am. And I'm owning that. So what I was saying before, in some ways I have not revealed all of myself in these videos. As in, the things that would maybe freak out the people from my past the most, I've kind of avoided. But now I'm just kind of like, you know what? I just need to be me. I'm being asked to be me. This is who I am. This is who God made me to be. And that is important, is to really stand in your authenticity. So this crystal coming out, not everybody believes in crystals, but I can say, as an empath who senses energy, crystals have been extremely helpful for me. And when I go to the crystal shop, I've been there a couple times, I literally just follow my intuition, and they lead me to various ones where the energy in that crystal is exactly what I what I need at that moment. And depending on what I'm going through, I'm led to different crystals. And then, so I'll go there first, excuse me, go to, whatever crystal is drawing me, and then, pick it up, feel its energy, and be like, yeah, this feels, yeah, that feels right. And then I read the description that they put in there. There's like a little tag. And so far, every time I've just been like spot on for whatever it is that that I'm going through. And sometimes it comes before a situation that I'm gonna need the crystals for. Like, I went to the crystal shop like 2 days before my repressed memories came back, or maybe even just a day. Can't remember, but it was a short time. And a lot of the ones that I was getting, their descriptions were talking about like balancing our male and female energy, because all of us have both in us, as well as like sexual health and that sort of thing. And I was just like, okay, that's different, but all right. I'm like, I feel like I'm fine, but all right. And I just trusted my intuition on that. And then the memories came back, and I was like, oh, that's why my intuition was leading me there. So I've learned to trust my intuition even when I'm just like, I don't know why my intuition is telling me to do this, but here we go. And it does become clear sooner or later, where it's like, oh, that's why I was being guided in that direction. So and I've gotten a lot of help from crystals. So yeah, a lot of people from the church that I grew up in will probably just be like, that's just lies. I don't know. I'm not sure how they will react. It's one of the reasons I had to leave, was just knowing that my gifts and who I am wouldn't exactly be supported, understood, and very possibly, like I kind of expressed in my last video, be seen as something evil, or like, yeah, like something to be squashed down and put out because, oh my gosh, it's magic or something. I don't know. I can't, I'm not going to read into all of that. I don't really desire to, but it's one of the reasons why I needed to pull myself out, so that I could become my full authentic self. This is who I am. It's who I've been since I was a small child. I knew that. I always knew I was different. But then I was born into the environment that I was, and so I didn't know anything different. So it's been a long journey, but here I am, just being my full authentic self. So yeah, I'm into crystals. And one of the things I'm doing on the side to support myself right now is doing intuitive readings for people. That has been such a beautiful, wonderful pleasure for me. It's really my passion. I have channeled people's, for one girl, I channeled her grandpa, and it was such a pleasure. And even like telling her how the signs that her grandpa tries to send her, for her it was random gusts of wind at times when it wasn't windy, where it would just be like calm and then a sudden gust of wind, and birds. So yeah, it's such a pleasure for me to be able to bring comfort to people in that way. And, a lot of the people that I've been talking to, they're going through something in life where they're just confused, or they really need clarity and what's happening around them in their relationships or with their job or whatever else is just not making sense. And I'm able to tap into my intuition. I basically just when I'm channeling, I literally just kind of take myself out of the way and let the angels and their spirit guides and their passed on loved ones speak through me. And what comes through is just exactly what they need to hear in that moment. And so I'm not totally jobless right now. I wasn't sure. I had started doing that shortly before I left my job, And I hadn't really gotten into it, but now that's kind of the main way that I'm supporting myself. And what's cool about that is that I can do it whenever I like. So basically, it's just a website, and the clients will come there. And I've set myself up as an advisor, and then they can just click on me and ask me their questions that they want me to tap into, and then I just relay what's coming through. And yeah, for me, it doesn't feel like work, and I've been able to not only do I say what's coming through, but also there is kind of a counseling aspect to it, of when they're just like, what do I do? It's like I tell them what's kind of going on, what the energy of the situation is, and then they're just like, well, what's my next step? And then I'm able to counsel them as well, using situations I've been through myself. So it's been kind of cool. It's kind of that like stepping stone to the counseling thing that I've been referencing a lot. So yeah, that's what's going on in my life. As you can tell, like from how it began to where I am now in this video, the emotions are all over the place. There's times where I'm just like, I just need to cry and cry and cry and cry and just let it out and be sad and grieve and scream and be angry and sleep for hours. Like I'm doing a lot of healing in my sleep, I feel. So I've been sleeping a lot. But instead of feeling icky, you know how sometimes when you just sleep a ton, like when you're during your normal life and you sleep way too long and you kind of feel, ugh, I slept too long. In this case, I always feel fine and better after I sleep. So, I'll sleep for like 12 hours at a time or more. It's just my body's way of dealing with everything, of bringing everything up from my subconscious and healing it, So it's a new time in my life. I never could have predicted it. It was not what I expected. I knew I had repressed memories, but I didn't think they would be this, is what I mean. But as far as I never could have predicted it, because I thought it was going to be trauma around my younger brother, who's so sick with schizophrenia and would get violent. And so I thought I just had witnessed some violent stuff that had been repressed. But so what came out in a lot of ways was so much worse. But I'm glad it's out. I'm glad it's being healed. It's not going to be forever, It's not going to be forever that I'm going through this. So if we want to wrap up this video with one thought, like how I've been getting through this time is total, complete trust and surrender to God and to my body and its process. And in that place, that's where 8-year-old Katie feels safe, even though there's a lot of uncertainty because everything, it's like my whole life has been flipped upside down. And yet I'm peaceful in it when I'm truly surrendered and truly trusting God. So that's how I'm doing. The healing is going to continue. I'm realizing there was something else I wanted to talk about. I've talked for a long time. This is probably one of my longest videos. But one of the other things I'm doing is spending time with people that just love me. And so my best friend Emily, I was up at her place on Sunday, this last Sunday. And that was beautiful and wonderful, and I just want to say thank you so much. It's finding those people that you can, I can tell her anything, and there's no judgment, just total support and love. And she cried with me, she held my hand. So Emily, yeah, I don't know, you might not be the type that wants to be called out, but here we go. I just want to say thank you so much for the time that we shared. And then we also gotta just be our inner children also. Her husband Jake makes these beautiful bamboo flutes and by hand, and I just wanted to show you. He totally gave me this one. It was so sweet. Yeah, just a total act of love from him where he was just like, I want you to have this. I'm like, really? Because they, like, he spends a lot of time on these, and he has flutes of all different shapes and sizes. This one is kind of small. It's got a little bit more of a like a Scottish type of sound to it, kind of high and beautiful. But he has big ones, medium-sized ones, all sorts of things that he makes and sells. So if you guys are interested, that's my little plug for him and the work that he does. And I just wanted to say thanks, Jake, again for this. Like, I've been playing it, and it makes me happy. And it makes my inner child happy. And when people make things by hand, they do put a little bit of their energy into it. And so it also just makes me happy to have the energy of people that I love kind of surround me while I'm playing this. So, yeah, I'm just thankful for the blessings too. This experience has taught me to be thankful for everything, you know? Yeah, life can be really hard, and that's putting it mildly. But you can get through it, and when you do, you learn to not take anything for granted. So this gift meant like everything to me. So thank you, Jake. And I should probably wrap this up now. Yeah. Hopefully that will help people not be quite so concerned. I think there's a lot of people that have been really concerned about me, which like concerned, like, is she okay? Has she gone crazy? You know, that sort of thing. No, I haven't. I'm just being fully surrendered to what God is asking me to do, to be and to do, and that's what I'm doing.